Hello, I'm Cody, and welcome to session 26 of my Pillars of Eternity turn-based Triple Crown attempt. Last time we cleared an undead-infested floor of the Endless Paths of Oddnua, and then we moved on to the next one, which seemed to have machines for making elemental blights, which we activated, or partially activated, or something. I don't really know. We stuffed some pyramids into some holes, and it seemed to trap blights in central chambers of each room. But then we went on a little bit further and saw a dialogue that spooked me, and I decided to leave.
Certainly.
Today, I think we will finally, after much delay, and probably being grossly overleveled for it, progress the main quest. So we're heading towards the Temple of Woedica in Defiance Bay, which I believe we will access through the sewers.
Well done. A formidable fortress in the old style. We don't build them like this anymore, you know. Not by the sea. Too vulnerable to cannons.
Well, that was annoying. I woke up, unfortunately, early today and decided to start playing a game to deal with it, but my alarm just went off and I had to run across the room to turn it off because I'd forgotten to turn it off when waking up early. Alright, and we don't have Eddar with us because he's stuck with Udina Fergist for 5 days. Oh, complete all upgrades of the Stronghold achievement.
Durance, do you take anything seriously? Or is the entire world just a setup for your idiotic punchlines?
The world is the punchline, Birdwoman. In all its weakness. Would you kill the messenger?
If he were as annoying as you, I'd consider it.
Yeah. More or less agree with her there. Let's see. The chapel construction completed. Fellow of St. Widwin leaves the stronghold. I don't remember Fellow of St. Widwin entering the stronghold. Wasn't one of our hirelings, so... Alright. Maybe they both entered and left during the travel period. Or maybe I just missed and or forgot them. I find myself a bit nervous to be taking Durance when I've been so used to having Eddar, for fear that it will get me killed, but realistically I know I'm so over-leveled, this area should not be difficult in the slightest. I would think I could probably do it with half my party gone. Not even considering half of them just replaced with somebody that's less effective, but still reasonably effective.
They shall see nothing while I see much.
In front of you looms the ghostly hollow image of the man who was present at your awakening. He casts a pale, sickly light in the dank corridor as he regards you.
You are from Kratom, my dear?
His words are an echo in your mind from a time long past, and you know your response before you speak it, as if it has always been. I want to say, I hate that every time we see one of these like ghostly images and they have voice acting, the voice acting always takes like an extra 2 seconds to start in these ghostly situations for some reason. It's really annoying. It always makes me think I'm going to have to read it myself. I only came to live there years ago, I guess. I have no reason to prefer one of these options over the others, as I can see.
A remarkable city. Truly one of the most impressive we have encountered outside of our own. Many exceptional people who have joined our cause come from Grey Tomb. What made you decide to join our order?
I'm honestly not sure.
As long as you are assured in your faith, the rest is not so important. Are you ready to take the oath? To spread the word of the gods to the lost and heathen?
I am.
My thoughts will be as silent as my feet.
Is this the exact same map that was one of the Endless Paths levels? Looks very similar.
It's done.
Oh, another Stalker's Torque and some garbage. Once again, he gained a level. Sure, let's have E2Mac have some damage reduction bypass. He has been taking pretty much everything that buffs E2Mac, so I'll keep going with that path with her. But now I'm confused because it paused on discovering a hidden object 3 times, but there were only 2 traps. I don't see another hidden object to mouse over. You think you hear the faint sounds of whispering coming from the skulls, but the words are unintelligible. Odd. The mercenary eyes you warily as you approach, his weapon readied. What are you doing here? You don't look like one of that masked lot. Take care, Watcher. This one's mind is edged. He seeks to know your purpose. I don't know. What's going on here? Since you don't know, you clearly don't belong here. The guard whistles sharply, and you hear shouts of alarm in the distance. I'm not gonna spend a bunch of money to avoid combat when the combat's gonna earn me money.
Ready, Watcher.
Would be... Oh goody, she's high enough level to start with a silent scream now. That's nice to know. It would be kind of hilarious if I just ended up game overing because I didn't want to spend $350, but I highly doubt these things will be challenging enough.
I'm ready.
Following your lead. Your tail ends here! Let's burn this open!
Eyes open. Ready, Watcher.
Nice.
I'm ready.
Following your lead. Let's burn this away! Love beyond sea.
Shed no.
I'm here.
Following your lead. Your tail!
Yes.
Let's burn this away! Oh!
I'm ready. Ready, Watcher. After an...
Your thoughts shed no.
Just a pile of sugar. Bizarre.
Eyes open.
Mm-hmm.
Oh?
Ready, Watcher.
Shed no.
I'm ready.
Following your lead. Your tail ends. Way selmes metu.
I'm here. My bow's...
To whispers and shadows. Oh?
What did he say? By the deeds of my tongue and... Oh, that's not it. Okay.
Be cautious. Be constant.
I can get it to spill its secrets.
The queen that was and still is. That is way too much to read, but I assume it's a summary of who Woedica is. The book lies on the table, its pages filled with some kind of unintelligible cryptography. Done. Nothing of import over there, it looks.
Something lies here for the eyes. Your thoughts must flow deeply indeed.
I'm ready.
Way sail for Takor!
They shall see nothing while I see much.
Iron rod, scroll of protection. Decent chunk of money. Large single target damage, I assume. Alright. Might be handy someday.
Ready, Watcher.
Ulu, Laval, beyond, see!
Oh, that's weirdly loud.
Your thoughts must flow deeply indeed. I shall...
I'm ready.
Yes? Arthek, Worthen, Rock!
Web. That's mildly annoying. Nice.
Arthek, Worthen.
Ready, Watcher. After him.
Let's end this! Get move!
I wish you...
Ready, Watcher. After him. I'm ready. The Archers vote.
Following your tail ends here! What? I'll let Margaret's fire bless...
Okay. Crumpled at your feet lies the body of a woman. She wears a dark robe that bears an insignia resembling a key. As you approach the woman's body, feelings of rage assault you. The dead woman's voice howls in your ears, and her lingering consciousness rends at you. Her essence tingles through your bones and membranes. It fills the spaces between your ears and behind your eyes, clawing deeper into your core. You see a gathering of men and women wearing robes like hers, their faces hidden behind masks. One by one they approach her, whom they know as an acolyte. She places her hand on each of their foreheads, searching their thoughts. She tests them with ritualistic questions, and they answer that their oath is sealed by the leaden key. She asks them of their tasks. She gives them new ones, all without a word. Her essence flares, fighting to boil your blood, burn your memory, and splinter your bones from within. Yet between its strikes, you see flashes of something else. A tower, a prisoner, a ruin. You funnel all your concentration into a single effort of will, a sharp point that pins the raging soul in place like an insect in a display case. With the thing under control, you are able to examine it and the three thoughts swirling inside. Okay, what about the tower? You see palimpsest. I have no idea what that word means. You see a palimpsest of a neighborhood. Run-down estates are cobbled around a cemetery and an ancient tower. Savage shapes prowl the street, and in the tower a man hunches over a strange mechanism. You can't see him clearly, but there's something unnatural about him. Somewhere nearby you see a woman with a scar over her heart. You understand that she has something he needs. You also see a door in the base of the tower, a seemingly impenetrable slab of stone and copper. But then the acolyte reveals the invisible split between the perfectly matched halves, and you understand how the copper veins convert the command into action. You know how to open the door. Inquire about the prisoner? Right. Oh, okay, so this is all talking about... I can't remember the name of the district, but the district with all the undead in it. Okay. Inquire about the prisoner. In your mind, you see a building, magnificent, with trellises and tiles and located on a pristine boulevard. The wealthy and learned stroll in and out, trading knowledge and coin. Yet it houses mystery, misery, and madness. Somewhere within its rotten core sits a man, his hair matted but his eyes alert. He watches and waits. A prisoner by choice. Look into the ruins. The Acolyte's vision takes you out of Defiance Bay into a town in the wilderness with a watermill. A sign on one of the paths reads Deerford. Several figures huddle together, shrouded in cloaks and hoods. An image of ruin suddenly looms in your mind. Two skeletal effigies flank a cleft in the mountainside. And a lot of new quest pop-ups here. Mysterious ruins outside Deerford. Undying Heritage. Maybe that woman with the scar over her heart is that vampire we talked to?
I'm on the trail.
Whether by design or by consequence of the sputtering candlelight, the hooded statue's face is almost impossible to see. Oh, Torque of Defiance. Also only usable by Ranger. Plus 25 defense against Charmed, Confused. Plus 10 defense against Dominated, and plus 10 concentration. That seems nowhere near good enough for the next slot. Maybe if the next slot weren't so contested for. Don't have a lot of great boots or belts, maybe. The Steward of Caed Nua has received a letter for you. Oh, also a quest. A place of great silence. 5 years ago, 12 senior monks of the Ixtlachchi began a silent pilgrimage into Tetlatictuan, forbidding halls plagued by severe weather that locals believe are cursed by the gods. The monks were supposed to emerge from their retreat this year, but they have not returned. An expedition of novices into Tetlactituan discovered their camp, but they were shocked to find only hollow skin shells of their masters sitting in a circle, frozen in their meditative poses. The inner circle of the Ixtlaki theorize that the masters have transcended their previous physical forms and may be wandering the eastern reach. They have sent word to the various lords in Redceres and the Deerwood that the Ixtlaki would very much like to be reunited with their masters, so their wisdom can be passed to a new generation. Alright, that seems like an Aloth thing.
You know, Durance, just because you follow the goddess of fire doesn't mean you need to literally consume everything you come across.
The fire is a favor I grant to those I meet. It makes them stronger, or it ends them mercifully if not.
The remaining unemptied beer steins of the Deerwood quake in fear.
How's this going? Still need 8 more confused. I do keep her out of combat far too often for her to get crit very often, and it can only trigger once per combat. Your club, is it still at 13? Yeah, hasn't had a single weaken yet today. Those are the only 2 soulbound things I've got left I'm leveling, I think, outside of the one on Aloth, I guess. No new dialogue options there. Heritage Hill, that's the region I want to check out next. Whose name I could not remember. See if we can finally get into that big old tower. It's kind of fortuitous in a way that I found myself taking Durance back on my team before heading here, if we do end up in there, and if it ends up being as infested with undead as the rest of the area. Yes, speak the words you learned from the Leaden-Key Acolyte. You hear rumbles and clanks from hidden tumblers as the door unlocks.
Light, flame, and sound. We'll keep to ourselves.
Some go. Oh, a lot of things. Alright, let's just try to get close.
Oh?
Line of sight was really awkward. It felt a lot like she should have been able to hit it from much earlier around, but... Oh, maybe I'll get it confused.
I'm here.
Oh, these things are all too weak to do anything more than graze her anyways.
Set on!
Apparently it crit with the paralyze, but that doesn't count.
Your thoughts must flow deeply indeed. Shed no blood.
I'm ready. Adolvidore.
Selmes metum.
Ready, Watcher.
Following your lead. Your tale ends here!
Your thoughts must flow deeply. I wish you no harm.
I'm ready.
Let's burn this away!
Ready, Watcher. Got an arrow for this one.
Yes? For Takoa!
I shall end this.
Margaren's fire casts light in dark places.
There's Skeleton Wizard up there. Crumpled page from Aldham's journal and Trendig's letter. Day 7. A week of study, and we're still none the wiser about this device. Trindig remains optimistic. I don't know what I'd do without his spirit. Dearest mother and father, you will be pleased to hear that I've learned much already since coming to the city. There are many incredible ruins nearby, and Master Greig has allowed me to accompany him on a number of expeditions. I am writing to you from inside an ancient Angwithan tower. There's an entire district built up around it, but the locals have mostly left the tower untouched. They have let us set up temporary living quarters here so our work can continue uninterrupted. It is an unsettling place at times, but Master Greig has been constant comfort, and he is quick to remind me that the things we learn from this tower may one day help us find a cure for Widewind's legacy. I'd better get some rest now. Mr. Greig likes to get up early to start the day. All my love, Trindig.
Oh?
Wizard, fighter. Not the wizards first.
Spot on! Shed no blood.
I'm ready.
Following your lead.
Wait, no, Canada, don't do that. Yerk. Alright.
Not even slowing it down.
After him, Itamok!
Following your lead. Sail, miss.
Nice and easy.
Let's see what lies this way.
Patting the scratchy old coverlay thickens the air with dust. No one has used this bed in weeks.
What have we here?
Skeletal Ranger doesn't appear to have a skeletal animal companion. That's kind of sad.
Spot on! Ready, Watcher. Dead on!
I feel like she just walked on impassable terrain. She walked over those beds somehow. Or is this just... Maybe the collision map just doesn't work correctly here, because this should definitely not be walkable based on what it typically is. I'm all in favor of it being more forgiving in that way, because it's too unforgiving most of the time. But
I wish you
odd. Oh, no, that doesn't look right.
I'm ready.
Following your lead. Sail, miss, me too.
Ready, Watcher. Dead on!
Following your lead.
Yes.
Spot on!
Light, flame, and sound. We'll keep to ourselves.
Day 2. We've completed our measurements of the machine, thanks to Trindig's useful agility. Further examination is required to discover its intended use. Essence shimmers and pulsates within this strange device.
And what does...
Now here's something.
Ready, Watcher. Set on!
She just attacks for now and waits to see if these gulls and dargles group up a bit more for an AoE blast. Nanuka is completely stuck. Shame.
I'm ready.
Yes?
As is Canna.
Ready, Watcher. Set on!
Following your lead. For Takoa!
Spot on!
Well, I didn't end up grouping up enough before dying for the Psychic Scream, or Silent Scream, I guess it's called, to actually be effective.
Your tail ends here. Let's end this!
Not trying to examine the machine, I'm trying to attack the enemy game. Apparently I'm not allowed. That is irritating.
Your tail ends here!
I wish you no harm.
I'm ready.
Well, it died of BOT anyways, thankfully.
I'll let Margaret's fire bless this one.
Ready, Watcher.
Another question mark enemy somewhere. Appears to have not been drawn into the combat, but is part of the combat.
For Takoa!
There it is.
Permet kong swolias.
Shed no blood.
Ready, Watcher. Got an arrow for this one.
Let's burn this away! Your tail ends here!
Oh?
Finish them!
I am surprised it survived that 103 damage crit. Thought it was already close enough to dead.
I'll take a look.
Oh?
Ready, Watcher. Set on!
It's a fancy looking ring. Letter from Ikantha. Aldhelm, I did indeed receive your recent summons, as well as the two that came before it. I'd been waiting for you to present yourself on my doorstep so that I could give you my answer in person. A firm and unwavering no. I won't help you. In fact, I relish the idea of you and your team of glorified engineers sitting in that tower, sweating over the runes I've studied for years. Nothing gives me greater pleasure than knowing that my research, which you've long disparaged, is the missing piece in your mundane little puzzle. As you well know, it's knowledge I've always valued. I'm just around the corner, and I encourage you to find me should you wish to rehash this conversation in person. Yours truly. You can't, though. Was that the vampire? It does say it's a quest item, so it could be intended as a hint. Vigil of the Arcane. Grants Arcane Dampener. Let's see. Foes suspends beneficial effects for 2 turns. Accuracy versus will, and it just gives +1 int. Sure, the +1 int alone is better than getting an irrelevant sum of copper every once in a while. More of Altem's journal. Day 10. Patrons go impatient with the lack of quantifiable results. They should drag themselves out of their mansions and spend a few nights here if they think it's so easy. Honestly, kind of surprising they'd be growing impatient after only 10 days. Research something as complex and harrowing as Widewind's Legacy, you'd think they'd have a little bit more patience and understanding. Day 11. Finally got out of the tower to clear our heads. Beasts take the patrons. We'll finish the study on our own terms, our own time. Just as I said as much to Trindig, the sky came to life with stray lightning. It said it's a good omen, but the poor lad's spooked. Only cure for that is a good night's sleep.
Let's see what...
Further ascending up the tower. Oh good, it's the last floor. Hey, it's Aldhelm. We've read your journal, or parts of it at least.
Let's try this configuration. Still nothing. Confound it.
A man hunches over the strange mechanism, his spine a sharp ridge rising from his arched back. He is barely clothed in filthy rags, and the patches of skin you see are mottled green. A spoiled stench emanates from him. He's so intent on his work that he doesn't notice you until your shadow falls over him. When he turns and sees you, he snarls and scuttles behind the Aedra pedestal. Only his bared teeth seem to have escaped decay. His eyes are yellowed and bloodshot, but they flicker with intelligence. He averts his gaze and holds a hand in front of his face.
Shouldn't be here. What do you want?
Well, tell me what happened here.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
He smashes a fist into the Aedra pillar. His hand makes a crunching noise, but doesn't bleed.
Forgive me. Forgive me. Research. We came to do research on the tower. Some commission from gods. It hardly matters now.
Given the catastrophe that followed, the commission and your research might matter a great deal. I really wish I could do something that even vaguely resembles a Violet accent, but every attempt of it just sounds different every time, at least in my head. Well, that has nothing to do with the death in the streets. Focus.
Something happened on our 11th night. Lights in the sky and a static charge in the air. But we were so careful. We were staying in the chambers below. Trindig, my assistant, said he saw a robed figure lurking around the tower. Wore a mask. Carried knives at his sides. A trick of shadows, I told him. The next morning, we felt strange. Like we hadn't eaten in weeks. So dazed that we didn't at first notice the blood around our beds. The strange wounds that had appeared overnight. And the machine. This cursed spire. Dormant for 2,000 years. lifeless through hundreds of our experiments, and we wake that morning to find it spinning on its own. On its own! How can we stop what we couldn't start?
As exciting as the prospect of a living machine may be, I suspect that given mention of a machine and a masked figure both, there is another explanation.
Years I've been doing this. Years. I know how these things work, but I don't know how this happened. Nowhere to go. That's the problem. Their souls are trapped here like flies in a jar, clinging to rotting meat.
Okay, slow down. What does this machine have to do with souls?
No time to slow down. But I can explain. Hold a magnet over iron splinters and they stick, yes? Rub your hand over weir wool and the hair of your head will follow it. So it is with this machine.
He looks at you and runs his tongue along the edges of his fine, strong teeth. He quickly looks away.
It has the power to manipulate souls, but why? For what? And how many others lie buried in the ruins of Erglonfath? No. Focus on this one. It's imprisoned our souls in our bodies. Cut the root between essence and flesh. Left a dwindling soul stuck in a shriveling husk.
Yeah, that makes sense, but then why are you not like the ghouls on the street?
Not yet. But I will be. My body is dead. My soul, imprisoned in this corpse, only makes it seem otherwise. And as the body decays, so does the mind. Until nothing is left but the hunger. The only way to forestall the process is through a regular infusion of essence. Living flesh is the only ready supply.
That's much like with that vampire we met earlier who had a room full of people she was storing to eat to keep herself sane.
I'm not proud of any of it. Hunting men and women in the early days of the affliction. Picking off soldiers that came to investigate. But I'd do it again. I'll do it as long as I must to end this disaster. You could help. Help me end this. Help me find sustenance.
How could I help?
Not your help I need. It's Harridan, shrew. Squanders her research on frivolities, then refuses to make herself useful. Runes. The runes are the last part of the puzzle. Acantha knows them. She gives them to you, and you can turn the machine off. Release our souls.
Wait, runes? The Engwithan runes? She can read them? He speaks of this feat so blandly. Let's talk to this Wherein Chie. I'd pick her thoughts a time. She wasn't here the night the machine came on. Staying with her patron somewhere near. Too good to be burdened with our ignorant company. I'll go talk to Acantha.
Yes. Acantha. She was here. In the district. Probably here still. Always prepared. Clever lady, that one. And perhaps you bring me something. Something to keep me sharp. Then I show you a secret about the machine. Something to make you strong.
Pelagina clenches her jaw, her eyes narrowing suspiciously. This Ganto! His condition has turned him into little more than an animal. Don't do it. Certainly curious what he means by something to make me strong. I don't remember there being any, equivalents to stat tomes in this game, except I think in that Skayan temple you could have sacrificed a party member to do +1 to a stat that's associated with that party member, but my recollection is that's the only... Oh, that's mildly convenient. The only way of changing your stats after character creation permanently. But if giving him something to eat were to give me like +1 might, it would 100% be worth it, maybe, depending on where I have to acquire that something. But then Acantha herself might not even be sane anymore, since I've already cleared out all the undead here, and while I was here, I freed the people she was storing to eat. It would be quite amusing if I go in there and she's just turned rabid. And you can't even talk to her, solely because I freed those people. I don't even know, what was it, like session 7 or something? Like 30 hours ago? And therefore in-game, probably like 2 months ago. No, she's still fine.
Silence surrounds me. You return. What if you come seeking this time?
I need the words that operate the Ingwithin machine in the tower.
That fool Aldhelm. He sent you, didn't he? I can hardly believe he's had the cleverness to survive. That simpleton thinks he can understand how to use something without understanding what it is, or why it is.
You feel a hot core of pride smoldering at the center of her soul.
He dabbles with ancient and powerful devices, with all the finesse of a blacksmith. He sends you here to petition me for aid after years of disparaging my research. I'll bet he didn't even tell you the tower's name, did he? That's his problem. Always looking for solutions without caring for meaning.
I can't say as I think the name of the tower would be hugely relevant, unless its name happens to be the words that activate it. Humble him now by demonstrating the value of your research. My silence demonstrates it more succinctly. Her words fan the strange coals at the center of her soul. For fuck's sake, Acantha, the problems in Heritage Hill are bigger than your rivalry. What do I care? I prepared myself for an eventuality such as this, and I can assure you those dwindling souls in the streets are beyond caring as well. Her pride burns brighter still. Okay, fine, tell me the tower's name, much as I thoroughly do not care what it's called.
Ter Nuneth. It's called Ter Nuneth. They built the machine atop it to contain souls, hold them in place. But the others I've seen, machines scattered all over the Deerwood, are relays, built to move souls.
Okay, and so that device we saw at the Biowac is probably one of those as well. And how do we operate this machine?
Back to these Tinker's concerns. And what would you do with these tethered souls if I told you?
I don't know yet.
A level of humility rarely found in my line of work. Most refreshing.
I could help you, but I won't. The pride lodged in her soul flares up, twisting into the shape of something that writhes and squeals in front of her. Here I have specimens aplenty and time enough to observe them all. It's every scientist's dream. My answer is no. What? But what good is observing all this if you're going to hoard it for yourself? Tell her, Chie. An entire language at your fingertips, and she hides it away. See, I'm more inclined to try to talk her out of this than to just use my Watcher powers to extinguish her pride or whatever that's supposed to be. But I also would like to retain the option to do that if the discussion fails, and I'm not sure if this is an exclusive choice. Let's go with dialogue first, and hope that I can circle back to just extinguishing her pride if it gives me the option later, if this doesn't work. The fate of these trapped souls is more important. They are inconsequential. Their existence means nothing. They don't even understand their predicament, which you and I see so clearly. Her pride blazes on. Through them, I'll accomplish more than any of my peers. And who will know about it? The pride thing flickers as the flames around it abate. All I've learned, years of studying the Angwithan language. No one understands it better than me. That counts for something. Knowledge is meaningless unless it's shared. A foolish and false sentiment. Knowledge is meaning. It needs no external purpose. Her pride smolders still. Your opportunities here are finite. One day, that knowledge will die with you. Pride hisses and sputters. It's little more than an ember now. You're wrong. There's no conviction in her words. I'll build it forever. I'll cling to it. That will give me something. Will that really be enough for you? The dying cinder clings to life. It will be. It must be. See, I worry that number 2 would flare her pride up again after we've spent so much dialogue to reduce it. So I'm going to go with 1 here. In the thoughts that, that asking for it will make her feel prideful again, and that will make her more stubborn again, and maybe the whole dialogue was about me finding a way to weaken it before choosing to extinguish it. You reach for it, but it's still too hot to grasp in your mind for more than a second. It may not be much, but it's still something. You can't take that away from me. I guess I was wrong. Teach me what you know. I'll make sure that it grows and your legacy lives on. Your words finally quench her pride, and all that remains is a blackened, diamond-hard rock. You cast it away where it melts into darkness.
So be it. My studies and efforts shall grow through yours. These are the words you need.
Her cold, dry fingertips rest on your temples, and you feel her reaching into your mind, forming images from the darkness. Runes flash through your head, but they're no longer just pictures. They have meaning, and you understand them. They're commands. Something triggers in your mind a distant memory unearthed from a past life, long since buried. You can see a vast array of runes, far more than Icantha has shown you, and you know their sound and their meaning and how they fit together. The language of Angwith, once more at your command.
Something has awakened in your mind. You understand far more than I ever did. Take this knowledge, then, and do what you will with Ter Nuneth. Now that you understand its purpose, it will serve you in whatever way you wish.
A speaker of dead tongues now. And so she surpasses 100 frustrated scholars in the matter of a few moments. I don't suppose you could look into a few books for me? It'd be neat if I could, pass this knowledge on to Canna. He'd get so much more out of it than I would. I don't remember a lot of the plot of the latter half of this game. I remember very little, in fact. I do remember some of the setting details that are revealed, I think revealed in the second game. Maybe they're revealed in this game, and I don't remember that. That answers this question of, I don't understand why the Angwithans would want to build a machine that tethers souls. I feel disinclined to ask it simply because I know the answer, or at least I think I know the answer. What do I do with this tower now that I know these words?
Turn it off, I expect. That will be easy now that you can read the runes. The vessels would still roam, but striking them down would return their essence to the cycle. But be careful. That machine controls hundreds of souls. and that volume of essence could easily overload it. Improperly channeling the essence would destroy the machine along with the souls. It would be a terrible loss for posterity.
We should destroy the machine. It doesn't matter whether the souls inside belong to the wheel or oblivion. Their lives are lost. Dead is dead. Alright, explain the control words. Harnessing the power of Ter Non-Weth, now Neth, is about understanding what it was designed to do. You know the words and their meaning, you can speak them, and the tower shall obey. Alright. Thanks. I guess. I'm certainly inclined to agree with Pelagina that simple destruction of the tower and everything else we can do with it, and freeing the souls if we can, is ideal. I don't know if destroying the souls would matter. I only have a very thin understanding of what a soul in this setting even is. It doesn't appear to give me the shortcuts to the top the way it gave me a shortcut to the bottom. Oh, there it is. Just forces me to do one extra load screen instead of 2 or 3. Eldhelm looks much worse than before. His rotten flesh hangs loosely and sores have eaten away patches of skin at his joints. He looks at you with a strange glimmer in his eyes.
Flesh.
He doubles over, coughing up strings of black bile. He seems to have forgotten about you for the moment. I wonder if it's possible for me to fetch him a meal to restore his intelligence. I have no idea how you would do that, though, and nor do I want to. A jagged Adra pillar rises in front of you, encased in stonework and run through with copper veins. The panel is covered with runes, which you can now understand. You recognize words for end and for hold. The dial is currently fixed on hold. You also recognize an inscription that the manner in which you turn the dial is a means of throttling the device. Alright, let's overload the device, see if we can't blow it up. Muttering a command, you give the dial a violent twist. The moving spires spin faster and faster, wobbling from their axes. The light filling the machine quickly becomes too bright to behold. You look away and cover your ears, but the thunderous crash that follows shakes the floor beneath you. When you look back, the machine is in ruins, never to be used again. And taxes collected, lost most of it to bandits again. I really thought getting my security up would help with that, but it does not seem to have meaningfully done so.
Still and silent. It's finally over.
I am surprised he does not have, like, an actual dialogue or something with me, but alright.
It's finally over.
I suppose I didn't notice or remember that heading down also didn't immediately leave the tower. The shortcut. Probably should have. I don't see any reason why they would put the quick skip at the end of that floor, forcing you to have just one extra load screen every time. Maybe there's scripting reasons they couldn't. A Dunrid Row messenger. Beg your pardon, I have a message for you. You are summoned to Hadrid House, where Lady Webb wishes to meet with you as soon as possible. And here I thought the locals were exaggerating about Dunwood Row. Seems like your name's come up in some important meetings. I hope nobody was shouting it at the time. Yeah. How did you know where to find me? Well, it's Lady Webb. She knows everything. Alright, I'll go talk with her at some point. Maybe not as immediately as you would prefer. Wonder if Acantha will have anything to say about my decision. He certainly will not have liked it. It's always funny when you get like an extra burst of footsteps after sound effects after the load screen pops up. She has just vanished, I guess. Alright. Well, she's back here. Oh, maybe she just decided to leave Heritage Hill. Or maybe the destruction of the device somehow caused her own ritual keeping her bound to her body or whatever to fail. I doubt it. It sounds like whatever eventuality she had prepared for was similar to, but not triggered by that device, but I don't know. The metaphysics aren't exactly well delineated. The tower. It's off? Does this mean the curse on Heritage Hill is lifted? It wasn't a curse, but yes, the district is safe again. Well, I think it'll be some time before anyone will be willing to settle in the district again, but at least we can get started on restoring it. Indeed. Guess there's no reason to not go talk to Lady Webb next. Though for now, I'm going to call that an end to the session. Thank you all for watching and or listening, and I hope you will join me again next time.